Welcome to the Daily Millwall for Sunday the 31st of January 2021. We start today's Stats Sunday as usual with this graph from Experimental 361. This is the timeline of the expected goals throughout the game. And the green line is Millwall. And the green circle is Millwall's first goal. And that was scored on the 9th minute. But if you look further down the line, just before 30, that's around about the 26th minute, there's a green line that goes up. That green line that goes up is Millwall's first chance on goal. Yes, we scored, and then it took us another 17 minutes before we had our first chance on goal of the whole match, which is astounding. And I think it's enough to bring someone to tears. Looking at this, especially if you look at the second half, that flat green line. Whereas we come out, we had a chance at the start of the second half, and it got fluffed, and then basically our objective was then just to defend for the whole 40 minutes left of the game. And you know what happens when you try and defend for half of a football match? The other team score. That's what happens. Because it's impossible to defend for 45 minutes and not concede a goal. It's absurd to try and even do that. But we did. And we got another draw. But anyway, here we go. Yeah, you can see. Between the first minute of the game and the 26th minute of the game, no shot. And then between probably was that the 49th minute of the game and the 85th minute of the game, no shot. It's criminal, and it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, and they're only getting away with it because the fans are not there. If we'd have spent most of the game not even trying to score, the fans would be all over the players, all over the manager. They wouldn't put up with this crap. Anyway, let's move on. So we're looking at now, this is from infogoal.net, and you got there the match events, the goal in the 9th minute. They made the changes that changed the game, because we were just trying to keep everything the same, trying to defend. And then after a long time after Ben got his bump on the head, then they decided to take him off after the guy had already scored. And then they took their goal scorer off for some reason, even though he was the biggest threat on the pitch, and they had 3 yellow cards, we had none. So that was the events of the game. Moving on to the lineups. So yep, they were playing 3-5-2, and that's the ratings there. Kiefer Moore 8.71, man of the match. 2 of their other players got marks in the 7. Moving on to Millwall. For some reason this website's given Zohor 8.32, which is astounding. I didn't think he played that well. Yeah, I don't think he played that badly. Although he missed, he could have done better with the 2 chances he had. But we were playing so deep, him trying to get forward and do anything was a struggle to him. Struggle to most of us team. But you can see here, so this website here, infogoal.net, is given Zohor 8.32, and we've got Cooper 6.55, Leonard 6.48, Malone 6.49. They're the next best, and they've given Ben Thompson 5.47. and Keith Denbeld 5.58. It's the 2 worst players according to this site. Let's move on to the stats, which are eye-watering. Possession 53-47 to them. Attempts on target 3-1 to them. Attempts off target 6-4 to them. Block shots 8 block shots to them, and we had 0. Goalkeeper saves, they had 1, we had 2. Total passes 482 to 357. Completed passes 360 to 234. corners 5-3, fouls 10-14, but yellow cards 3-0. So we had more fouls. They had more of the yellow cards. But you can see there how we were on most of the metrics. We were outdone in passing, in shots on target, off target, and block shots. Damn. Let's move on now to the map. This website does a beautiful little map, and you can see they've had 4 really decent chances. One of them was a goal. The one that's got the ring in yellow is the goal. And Millwall's chances, they had 2 chances. Millwall, and you can see, yep, we had two decent chances, and then 3 insignificant chances. And none of them in yellow, because none of them would have was the goal, because the goal was an own goal from right down by the touchline. I think it was a crossing from Jed Wallace. So it's none of them. And you can see here the chances that Cardiff had. They were shooting inside the box. They were shooting from outside the box as well. Loads of shots from outside the box. They weren't messing around. They knew that if you want to score, you got to shoot. This concept hasn't seemed to work its way through to the Millwall management yet. Maybe one day, let's move on. This is whoscored.com, and this is more stats. This is from their match report. It says match summary. Cardiff created a high number of chances related to their possession, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from through balls, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces, were aggressive. Negatives, I don't know why they say this. They were aggressive, committed a high number of individual errors. Styles for Cardiff had a large quantity of possession in their opponent's half, favoured long shots, attacked down the left side, dominated possession, favoured through balls. And for Millwall, they say were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from long shot situations, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from counter attacks. Weaknesses for Millwall: lost possession often, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box. Styles played with width, attacked down the right hand side. And you can see down here, so they had 17 shots in total, we had 6, 1 goal each, so we had a better conversion rate than them, which is normally ours is in the gutter around about 6%, same as them. Yeah, you can see here half the play down the right hand side for Millwall, and for Cardiff 44% down the left hand side. Both teams very little down the middle. Moving on to shot directions. Millwall shots mostly down the middle. For them, down the middle and down the right hand side. Most of it's played in the middle of the park, but nearly a quarter of it was in our third. Player positions. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Mills in the blue on the right. Look how deep fucking Zohor is, number 13, and you can't even see Jed Wallace is under Zohor on this graph. You can't even see him because they're basically playing on each other's toes. But look how deep he is. He's on the centre circle. Yeah, so then you're trying to play counter attack when you got to run half the pitch to get to the goal. It's not. You can't do that. You really can't do that. It's not. You can't counter attack from the halfway line. It's ridiculous to even try and do that. What you need to do is play balls through, split the defenders, play ball splitting balls through the defenders, get the wing backs to push on into the space to get the ball when it's played behind them, and then whip it in, which is what they did when we scored. But we scored because Jed Wallace, that McNamara knocked the ball through, Jed Wallace run onto it behind the player, whipped it through, and then he hit the defender and went in. But if you looked, like, there was no one there. So that was just luck. But we're trying to do that over and over again. Trying to counter-attack from the halfway line with players who ain't exactly got the acceleration. Okay. Let's move on. Same website, just a different page. If you actually look at the top, if you look at the badges at the top, Cardiff, the average rating for each player according to this website, whoscored.com, a 6.54 for Cardiff, 6.50 for Millwall. But they've given higher ratings to the Cardiff players. The man of the match, Kiefer Moore, 7.7. Rules, 7.3. Volks, 7.0. And even Wilson, the geezer who come and changed the game, Wilson 7.1 from off the bench, that's what you call an impact sub. If you can come off the bench with about a third of the game left and get a mark in the 7s out of 10s. For Millwall, they've given Cooper 7.0, and that's it. Next best, Malone 6.9, Leonard 6.9. They've given Zahor 6.1, so I don't know what's going on with the other website. The other website gave him a score in 8.3s. This website's I think is a bit more rounded, a bit more. They take a lot more into consideration. They've only given Zahor 6.1, and they've given McNamara 6.3, Wood 6.2, Kefton Bell 6.3. Yeah, I think Cardiff's midfield were really running the game, especially in the second half. Well, we let them because we were just dropping deep and defending, so that's what happens when you try and defend and you don't have an out ball. You just get punished over and over again. So let's look at total shots. Who had the shots? Look at that. Everyone in midfield. Cardiff had a shot. Kiefer Moore had 4. Even the subs, when they come on, had shots. They were shooting from all over the pitch. Any player. But Millwall, you look at this. Friggin' none of the midfielders had a shot. Zahor had 2, Wallace had 1, and then Leonard and Cooper. You can see the difference there. Possession, match possession time. So, yeah, you can see the Cardiff players were running the game. The midfielders, look, Volks, he had 9.1 of the whole game possession. Their defenders 7% of the match possession. Whereas what have we got? Who's had the most of the game? Leonard, Hutchinson. So our defenders had most of the ball because they were defending. No one in midfield was running the game. No one up front was getting onto it except for Wallace. Wallace 4.3. But still. Okay. Pass success percentage. Wow. For the first time in a long time, Ryan Wood's 70%. Normally it's in high 80s. You can tell he's the Cardiff midfielder running a game when he can't even execute a simple sideways pass. So what have we got there? Oh, Biakowski as well. Blimey. He needs to practice his kicking. Biakowski's down to 20% pass success. Wallace, the best of 81. And then you compare that to Cardiff, that's a lot better. Ojo was up there. We really were second best all over the pitch. And dribbles, you can see we had more dribbles because we had further to run. So you got to run further the ball because we're playing so deep. So we were trying to counter attack with Thompson, Zahor, and Wallace, and they had the most dribbles there. Aerials won. We got done in the air. Blimey, Kiefer Moore 11. He won 11 in the air. Jesus. Cooper 8. Hutch 7. But jeez. Kiefer Moore, 11 aerial duels won. Tackles. Yep, Cardiff midfield. Boss in the midfield did the tackles as well. Malone 3, Leonard 2. Corners, yeah, you know that. Dispossessed, yeah. So because we were dribbling, we were trying to play on the counter and dribbling, and they're going basically running into the Cardiff defenders outmanned. They got dispossessed. Wallace 2 times, Zahor 3 times, and Thompson 2 times. So let's see. Let's go back. Does that match up with the dribbles then? So yeah, basically, they dribbled forward and then got dispossessed. It's basically the same, except for Wallace had one dribble where he didn't get dispossessed because they were trying to counter. So they were running, got the ball, ran towards the opposition, and got it taken off of them because they can't do anything when they're outmanned and there's no one to pass to. Because the nearest guy to them, Millwall guy, is back near the halfway line. Because there's no mobility in the pitch. And you're playing so deep. Anyway. Let's move on to player stats. It's basically the same thing. There's a little few extra things but it's in the list. So it's easier to see. Let's go down. Here we go. So the rating. As we can see. Jake Cooper 6.98. Yeah, Zahor 6.13, Rod Farson 5.89. Yeah, so just basically poor all round really. Shots, Zahor 2, one shot on target. Yeah, only 4 players having shots. Yeah, who had the most touches? We didn't see that on the last one. So Ryan Eden, most touches 69. That's a sex number. Hutchinson 61, Cooper 59. Least touches, Bodfarson 9, Thompson 27. He had as many touches as Bart Biakowski, 27. Doesn't seem good. Oh no, because he went off as a sub, didn't he? If he had carried on playing, he would have had more. That's why that is. He would have went up to the 40s. Moving on, offensive. Key passes. Yeah. 2 from Malone. Okay. Unscheduled touches. I like looking at it. Let's look at that. So unscheduled touches is basically poor control. And look at this. Basically the whole bloody team had a poor control. The whole team except for the goalkeeper. Zahor had 5. Wallace had 4. Malone had 2. Because basically we were outmanned. Their midfield played better than our midfield. And anytime anyone went forward, they were outgunned up front. So they were struggling to keep hold of the ball. What have we got here? Have we seen any of this before? Clearances, we didn't see that on our one for. So Jake Cooper 9 clearances, Hutchinson 6, Leonard 5, even Zahor getting two clearances. It's good. Who had the block shots? We know there was a lot. We didn't see who had them. Cooper 3, and then Hutch, Leonard, Woods, Geftenbeld 1 each. Okay. Moving on. This is passes. Most passes. Hutchins 49, but a low pass success rate of only 63. So crosses. Who had the most crosses? So Hutchinson. No, Malone had 5 crosses and 3 were accurate, which is better than the last game. But two crosses from Jed. None of them were accurate. Long balls. Look at that. That is not good at all. Bart Biakowski 19 long balls, accurate for 3 of them. I don't want him to start playing it out the back like all these other teams where they do all that. But he needs to figure something out because his kicking is not going where it needs to go to. Is that down to him or down to the players he's kicking to? I don't know. But 19 long balls and only 3 where they were supposed to go. That's not good enough. Not this level, mate. Needs to do better than that. So Hutchinson 8, Ryan Woods 8. Only 2 and 3 accurate long balls. Leonard had 7 and none of them were accurate. He's Cooper 6 long balls, none of them were accurate. Because who they're pinging them forward. There's only one guy forward, Zohor, but they've got 3 defenders around him. Yeah. I think people are trying to spin yesterday's game, but it's the same old shit show, you know. It's not. We didn't deserve a point from that game. There are obvious problems in the way the team plays that need to be corrected by the manager or someone else or a new manager. Let's move on now. This is a graph from Experimental 361 that they do every now and then. This is the bottom line is expected goals per 90 minutes, and they do it player by player by player. This is over the whole season. This isn't from yesterday's game. This is over the whole season so far. And the line on the left hand side is goals scored per 90 minutes. Now, if you're on target, as that's to say, look at Matt Smith. He's bang on the 0.4 expected goals line. Now, if he was performing bang on target, he would be in the middle of the blue, because that would match up with 0.4 goals scored per 90 minutes. So if he was performing premium, bang on, he would be in the middle of that blue line, and there would be 0.4, 0.4, x-axis, y-axis, and all that, blah blah blah. So Matt Smith is slightly underperforming, which is probably why he's not starting. Now, Zohor's not on here. There's one reason for that. If you look at the bottom, it says excludes penalties, which knocks Wallace down a bit, and it excludes players who've played less than 25% of the minutes throughout the whole season. So that would be Zohor. And it excludes players who've taken less than 1 shot per 90 minutes, because they don't want it to be full of all the defenders and all of that. So just attacking players. But you can see here, Bradshaw is overperforming. The goals he's scored, he's pulled them from poor chances. He's had poor chances and scored goals from them. So that's why he's above the line. But doesn't have getting involved with enough chances as Matt Smith does. So he's less chances, but he makes the most of what chances he gets, as you can see. So he's above the blue line, which is good. You can see here Jed Wallace bang in the middle of the blue line, but it's quite low. It's just above 0.1. I think it's about 0.1 to 0.14 probably. So he's banging in the middle of the blue line. And also Scott Malone slightly above the middle of the blue line. Mason Bennett is alright, but the ones below, Bodvarsson, and the worst ones, Leonard and Parrott. Basically, the chances they take versus conversion, well, we know Parrott hasn't scored, but you can see way below the line for Parrott. This is definitive proof if you didn't, if you needed it, if you didn't believe your own eyes when you saw the geezer play, that Troy Parrott was no good. And also Leonard isn't scoring as many goals as he should, based on the chances he's getting, and Varson as well. But Bradshaw is doing all right. Can he lead the line? Maybe. I don't know if he can. He seems like the fox in the box style, running onto balls kind of player. Kind of when the set pieces break and there's a second chance that he can snap at, he's that kind of player. Can he lead the line? I don't know. Maybe he should be given a chance. Because the way he's played now, he's sort of played as a playing on the left or playing on the right, slightly withdrawn. But I don't know. Maybe play him up front, but play him in the Zor role. Can he do it? Can he hold it up himself? I don't know. But he's looking at this. He's our best striker so far. There you go. Moving on. Transfer news. Did you know tomorrow the transfer window is gonna close at 11 p.m. on Monday the 1st of February. Transfer window closes at 11 p.m. And you can see here, this is from John Percy. He's the Midlands reporter for the Daily Telegraph and the Sunday Telegraph, and he tweeted this out last night. Millwall's second bid of £750,000 for midfielder George Evans has been accepted. So it seems we might be signing this George Evans fella. And I brought this up. This is from soccerbase.com. It's basically George Evans' page on Soccerbase. He's 26 years old. He's 6 foot. He started out as Man City. He didn't play a game for them. Oh, he was a substitute. Sorry, he was a substitute in the League Cup once. That's what he did at Man City. While he was there, he got loaned out to Crewe. Got loaned out to Scunthorpe. Got loaned out to Walsall. Then he signed for Reading. Did 2 seasons there. 2 seasons or 1.5. 1.5 seasons at Reading. And then he signed for Derby. Now it looks like he might be signing for us. So, all in all, in about 9 years of being a professional footballer, he's played. He started 103 games in the league. So I would say, well, he's probably 130 starts across all competitions. And then if you include substitute appearances, that bumps it up to about 160. But this is his games this season. So is he match fit? He's played a couple of games in January. So this past month. So he might be. He seems he's match fit, but you can see here 2 games in the EFL Cup, and then he was starting. He's September, October. This is under the old manager, of course. But then when Rooney took over, he wasn't brought in straight away, but he come in later, and he's the two most recent games against Bournemouth and QPR were 1-0 wins to Derby, so 2 clean sheets there. I don't know. I've just shown you about the goal scoring things here. Our problem isn't defending. scoring goals. Our attacking threat, as it says here, attacking threat breakdown. I think, yeah, I think we're all having a breakdown watching our attacking threat because there's nowhere to be seen. It's powder puff, it's not good enough. And Rowit's out signing midfielders and defenders. Anyway, we'll see. There's a under 23 game tomorrow against Charlton. We've got a transfer window closing at 11 PM. I should have a video out after that, see who we signed. Come and join me and watch it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.